What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Defiant Podcast, your one-stop shop for all the top news in DeFi, entertainment, and sports.
That's right.
And we are powered by the Defiant, a lifestyle sports brand built for the on-chain world.
Built for Web3.
So you guys know the drill.
Yes.
We don't just give you the surface-level headlines. We like to dive deep into the why, the so what.
The analysis.
The analysis, exactly.
Yeah, the insights.
And we got a really, really fascinating mix today.
Yes.
A lot to cover, so buckle up.
Lots going on.
We're going to be talking about the global shifts in crypto regulation, the recent Bitcoin price dip, and how altcoins are reacting.
Big week in crypto.
A big week in crypto.
Yeah.
And then we're going to shift gears completely and go into some exciting things that are happening where Web3 meets gaming.
Absolutely. It's really heating up over there.
It's really heating up, and then we're going to finish it off with a record-breaking moment in women's sports.
Amazing stuff.
Amazing stuff. So ready to dive in?
I am. Let's do it.
All right, let's kick things off in the crypto world.
Yeah.
So there's a really interesting dynamic that's happening globally when it comes to regulation of crypto.
Yes.
A lot of people think, governments, regulators, they're coming down hard. They want to ban it. It's a threat. They want to control it.
Right.
But actually, if you look at the numbers globally, it's kind of the opposite story that's unfolding. What are we seeing?
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of the opposite of what the common narrative is.
Yeah.
I mean, 47 countries since 2020 have actually moved towards easier, more accommodating crypto rules.
Wow, 47.
47. I mean, that's a big chunk of the world.
That's huge. That's a really significant number, and I think that's something that most people are really surprised by.
Yeah, and it's not just, small island nations or whatever. It's actually some pretty major players on the world stage.
Yeah.
You've got countries that are, establishing these regulatory sandboxes.
Oh, interesting.
Where, companies can sort of experiment with new products, new services.
In a safe space.
In a controlled environment. You've got, countries that are providing clear guidance on taxation, right?
Makes sense.
Which is a huge hurdle for a lot of businesses.
Yeah, clarity is so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think, when there's so much uncertainty, it makes people nervous.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do.
Right. It's difficult to build a business, to invest when you don't know what the rules are.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that clarity is really key.
Yeah, and then in contrast to this huge number of countries, 47, that are going this route of easier rules accommodating crypto, there's only been a very small number of countries that have actually gone in the other direction.
Yeah, it's a tiny number, really.
A tiny, tiny number. Only 4.
4.
That have restricted or banned crypto.
Restricted or banned, yeah.
So it's such an interesting contrast. It really paints this picture of where the world is going, or at least where a majority of the world is going.
Yeah. It does seem like there's a real global trend here towards acceptance.
Acceptance.
I think a lot of countries are starting to recognize the potential of this technology of, blockchain and cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
The potential to attract investment, to create jobs, to really innovate in the financial sector.
Yeah.
And so, they're trying to position themselves to be leaders in this space.
Yeah. So I think for the listener out there, and especially, we're in the U.S.,
yeah,
this raises a really crucial question.
Yeah, it does.
When so much of the world is moving towards a more open approach to crypto, is the U.S. at risk of falling behind?
I think that is a real concern. Yeah.
Yeah. So if the U.S. doesn't really come up with, a comprehensive but also innovation-friendly policy, are we going to see businesses, talent, everything kind of fleeing to these more accommodating jurisdictions?
I think that's a definite possibility, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's something that, it's going to directly impact you, the listener, in terms of, how accessible this new world of DeFi and all this stuff is going to be.
Absolutely.
If the U.S. makes it really difficult, puts up a lot of roadblocks, it's going to be harder for the average person to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's definitely something to keep in mind, right? It's
Yeah.
not just about, what companies can do. It's also about how you can participate.
Right.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit, but we're going to stay in the world of crypto.
Okay.
Let's talk about the markets.
Okay.
Because it's been a bit of a roller coaster lately, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely been a volatile week.
Yeah, so Bitcoin, everybody's favorite cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
saw a dip this week towards that $80,000 mark.
Right, down to about $81,551 on Sunday evening.
Sunday evening,
Ouch.
quite a pullback.
Yeah, and it's down overall about 4.27% for the week.
Yeah, a noticeable drop.
Yeah, so that's pretty significant. But what's really interesting is how altcoins have been reacting to this Bitcoin move.
Yes, very interesting.
So, Bitcoin took a hit, but some of these altcoins have actually seen even bigger drops.
Yeah, they often, they can be a bit more sensitive to overall market sentiment
Yeah.
and Bitcoin's price action.
Yeah.
So, we saw Ethereum, for example, it dropped almost 10%, like 9.7%.
Yeah.
And then XRP, even more, over 12% down this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're really feeling it.
Yeah, they're feeling it more.
And then, it wasn't just the spot prices that took a hit, the actual price of these cryptocurrencies.
Right.
We also saw some pretty crazy action in the derivatives market. Oh, yeah, there were some big liquidations.
Yeah, big liquidations totaling a staggering, you ready for this?
Yeah.
$192.64 million in liquidations in a single day.
Wow, that's a lot of leverage getting wiped out.
Yeah. So if you break it down, $44.08 million of that was from Bitcoin longs, and then Ethereum positions added another $45.09 million.
So pretty even between the two.
Yeah, pretty evenly split between the two. And there was actually a report that there was a single Ethereum trade on Binance that got liquidated for over $13 million.
Ouch. Yeah, somebody had a really bad day.
One bad trade, yeah.
Yeah.
So, when we talk about liquidations, it really just underscores the risk of using leverage, right?
Absolutely.
In crypto trading.
Mm-hmm.
So for the listener out there, leverage, it's basically you're borrowing money,
right,
to kind of amplify your potential gains.
But it also amplifies your potential losses.
But it can also really backfire, yeah. So if the market goes against you,
right,
you can get liquidated.
And then the exchange can, automatically close your position.
Clear your position, yeah.
Yeah.
Which can lead to even more downward pressure on prices.
Yeah, because then you're forced to sell, right?
Yeah.
At a loss.
So it's kind of a vicious cycle sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think is going on? What's fueling all this correction in the market?
Well, there's always multiple factors at play, right?
Right.
But we've got some concerns about inflation, that can make investors a bit more risk averse, maybe pull back from some of these more volatile assets.
Right.
We've got regulatory uncertainty.
As we were just discussing.
Yeah, always a factor.
Always a factor.
And, after a while, after the markets have been going up for a while, there's always some profit taking.
Yeah, people want to cash out.
Yeah, people want to realize those gains, so they sell, they take profits, and that can also drive prices down.
Yeah, makes sense. It's probably a combination of all these things. Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, but there is an interesting kind of difference in sentiment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that we're seeing in different parts of the world.
Interesting.
So the Coinbase Premium Index, which is kind of a measure of how much premium people are willing to pay for Bitcoin on Coinbase compared to other exchanges.
Okay.
It's been pretty tepid.
Okay.
So that suggests that there's not a lot of buying enthusiasm.
Right.
Especially from U.S. investors, bigger players.
Okay.
But at the same time, ETF inflows, those are staying strong.
Okay.
So that indicates that people are still investing, but they're doing it through these more regulated vehicles.
Right.
And then if you look at South Korea, retail demand over there is actually really high.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's, the Upbit premium, which is kind of like the price difference on a major South Korean exchange.
Oh.
It's been really high, which shows that there's a lot of local buying pressure.
So, yeah, it's really a mixed bag depending on where you look. It's a mixed bag, yeah.
Different appetites in different regions.
Yeah, so I think for you, the listener, whether you're a seasoned crypto investor or you're just kind of, starting to dip your toes in,
yeah,
this is a good reminder that crypto is volatile.
Absolutely.
Right. These kinds of swings are normal.
Yeah. You got to be prepared for the ups and downs.
You got to be prepared for the ups and downs. But if you, if you have a long-term vision,
right,
and you believe in the technology, then these dips can actually be an opportunity.
Yeah. A chance to buy low.
A chance to buy low. Exactly. But the key is to have a strategy, right?
Absolutely.
Have a plan. Don't just, panic sell or FOMO in.
Yeah. Don't get emotional.
Yeah.
Stick to the plan.
Stick to the plan. Okay, so let's move away from crypto for a little bit and
Oh,
talk about entertainment,
okay.
and specifically Web3 and gaming.
Yeah, really exciting stuff happening there.
Really exciting stuff happening there. I'm kind of fascinated by this world
Yeah.
because, I'm a gamer myself.
Oh, cool.
So, I'm always interested in seeing how technology is going to change, how we play games.
Yeah.
So one of the big developments recently is the launch of the off-the-grid mainnet
Yeah.
and its GUN token.
Yes.
And this went live on March 31st.
That's right.
And it followed the GUNZ testnet phase.
Yes.
And what's really interesting about this, during that testnet phase, there was actually a black market that popped up for in-game skins.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, so people were already trading these items,
Yeah.
even though, it wasn't officially supported yet.
So that really shows you the demand for digital ownership, right?
Yeah, they want to own these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just about bragging rights anymore. It's about, I own this is mine,
Right.
right? And I can potentially, profit from it or, trade it with other people.
Yeah. Yeah, it has real value.
Yeah, so it's not just stuck, in this one platform.
Right.
Yeah, so this is like the core concept of Web3 gaming, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about giving players true ownership of their digital assets.
Yeah, instead of, the traditional model where, it's all tied to a platform
Right.
and you can't really do anything with it.
Right.
Yeah, so Web3 gaming, it's like this whole new world of, player-driven economies.
Yeah, you can imagine, these marketplaces where players can buy, sell, trade items outside of the game itself.
Yeah,
It's a really interesting concept.
yeah. And then another really big development in the gaming space is GameStop.
Oh yeah, GameStop.
GameStop, they've updated their investment policy
Okay.
and they've included Bitcoin as a permissible investment.
Wow.
So they're basically saying, hey, we can buy Bitcoin now.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, and they're actually looking to raise $1.3 billion
Okay.
potentially to buy Bitcoin.
Oh, wow. So they're going all in.
They're going all in on Bitcoin, which
Oh.
is really interesting because it kind of reminds me of MicroStrategy.
Yeah. Yeah, similar strategy there.
Yeah, so MicroStrategy, they've been, buying up tons of Bitcoin.
Yeah, they've made it a big part of their treasury.
Yeah, and it's interesting. The CEO of GameStop, Ryan Cohen, he actually shared a photo recently with Michael Saylor.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Michael Saylor, the chairman of MicroStrategy.
Yeah, so big Bitcoin bull.
Big Bitcoin bull, yeah.
So, it's fueling all the speculation, like, what is GameStop going to do?
Yeah, what are they up to?
Are they going to become like the MicroStrategy of gaming?
Right. It's definitely intriguing.
Yeah. So, it seems like they see potential in Bitcoin, not just as like a financial asset,
Right.
but as like this foundational element of, their future strategy.
Yeah, maybe as a way to bridge traditional gaming with the crypto world.
Yeah, so I think for you, the listener, if you're a gamer, if you're interested in, this whole intersection of technology and entertainment,
Yeah.
this is something to really keep an eye on. Because it seems like we're on the cusp of some pretty big changes in the gaming world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so GameStop is a huge player,
Yeah.
and they have the potential to really introduce, crypto to a massive audience.
Yeah, they have a huge customer base.
Yeah. So what are they going to do? I don't know. Are they going to, integrate Bitcoin into their e-commerce platform?
Right.
Are they going to use it for rewards?
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities.
A lot of potential there.
Yeah, a lot of potential. And then rounding out our look at Web3 gaming, there was some good news for Immutable.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Immutable, they're a big player in the Web3 gaming space.
Uh-huh.
And the SEC had been investigating them regarding their IMX token.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they had received a Wells notice back in October 2024.
Yeah. So that's never a good sign, right?
It's not a
Yeah.
good sign, yeah.
Yeah.
But the good news is that the SEC has closed its investigation.
Wow. So no enforcement action.
No enforcement action regarding the IMX token.
That's huge.
Yeah, and you can imagine, Immutable's probably breathing a huge sigh of relief.
Oh, yeah. A regulatory cloud like that can be a real burden.
Yeah, it can really stifle innovation.
Absolutely.
So this is actually a big win, not just for Immutable,
Right.
but for Web3 gaming in general.
Yeah. It's a sign that regulators are starting to understand this space better,
Yeah.
and they're not just going to come in and shut everything down.
Yeah. So it gives a little bit more confidence to developers and investors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we look at all of these things together, right?
Right.
Off the grid launching,
Yeah.
GameStop going all in on Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Immutable getting the green light from the SEC.
Yeah.
What's the message here?
Yeah.
What are we seeing in the Web3 gaming world?
I think it's really a picture of a maturing ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more viable.
Yeah.
You've got, studios like Off the Grid actively building games with these crypto native economies.
Yeah.
You've got GameStop, a mainstream retailer, embracing Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And then you've got infrastructure providers like Immutable, navigating these regulatory hurdles. So
Yeah.
it's all very positive.
Yeah. And I think for you, the listener, it's really something to keep an eye on because, it could really change how we play games, how we think about digital ownership.
Yeah.
This whole concept of play to earn, actually earning something for your time, for your skill.
Yeah.
It's really
It's
fascinating.
a whole new paradigm.
It's a whole new paradigm, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Me too.
All right, so let's finish strong.
Okay.
Let's go into the world of sports. And there's been this story that's been generating a lot of buzz. Caitlin Clark,
Oh, yeah. Caitlin Clark.
who continues to make history, but this time it's in the world of sports collectibles.
Yeah, she's really breaking records on and off the court.
On and off the court. So her one-of-one Panini Prism Signatures gold vinyl rookie card
Wow.
recently sold for a record-breaking $366,000.
Wow. That is a lot of money for a basketball card.
That is a lot of money, and it makes it the most expensive sports card ever sold for a female athlete.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's incredible.
That's really saying something.
Yeah, so it actually surpasses, the previous record, which was held by Serena Williams.
Wow, Serena Williams, a legend.
A legend, yeah. Her card went for $266,400.
Still a lot of money. But yeah, Caitlin Clark is breaking new ground.
Breaking new ground, and even, her own previous record, which was set just recently, was $234,850.
Yeah, her value is just skyrocketing.
Skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just this one card.
Oh, really?
She actually has 3 cards now that have sold for over $100,000.
Wow.
And she owns the top 30 most expensive WNBA cards ever sold.
Wow, that's domination.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's really interesting because, the secondary market prices for boxes of WNBA Prism,
Okay.
they actually surpassed NBA Prism
Oh, wow, really?
earlier this year.
So people are betting on women's basketball now.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
There's a big shift.
It's a big shift, and I think a lot of it has to do with, the excitement that Caitlin Clark brings.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal player. So
Right.
beyond just, the money,
Right.
the value of these cards,
Yeah.
what's the bigger picture here? How is this impacting women's sports in general?
Well, I think it's really elevating the visibility
Yeah.
and the perceived value of women's basketball.
Yeah.
You have this incredible talent, Caitlin Clark, and she's drawing in fans, she's getting media attention, and that's translating into, more viewership, more sponsorship opportunities.
Yeah.
Not just for her, but for the whole league, for the WNBA, for NCAA women's basketball.
Yeah, it's like a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think for the sports fan out there, this is a really cool thing to see. Women's sports is getting more recognition.
It deserves it.
It deserves it. It's
Yeah.
so much talent out there, so much excitement,
Yeah,
and it's great to see that people are starting to recognize that and put their money where their mouth is.
absolutely.
So there you have it, another deep dive into all the top stories across DeFi, entertainment, and sports.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground today.
We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
We talked about the global trend towards crypto acceptance, the recent market volatility,
The ups and downs.
the ups and downs,
Yeah.
the exciting advancements in Web3 gaming,
Yeah.
and Caitlin Clark's, record-setting moment. Amazing.
Yeah.
And, as always, our goal here on the Defiant Podcast, powered by the Defiant,
Yeah,
is to give you guys, the listener, more than just the headlines.
absolutely.
We want to explain why these things are happening and what it means for you.
Yeah, the so what?
The so what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Insights.
The insights, yeah. So as you guys are, processing everything we talked about today,
Yeah.
here's a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
So we talked about, this increasing global acceptance of crypto, but we also talked about the volatility.
Right.
So the question is, how are individuals and institutions going to navigate this kind of, this new world
Yeah.
where there's a lot of opportunity, but there's also a lot of risk?
Right. How do you balance those two?
How do you balance those two? That's the question.
Yeah.
And it's a tough one.
Yeah.
But we're going to continue to explore it here on the Defiant Podcast, so stay tuned for more deep dives. Until next time, stay defiant.
Stay defiant.